Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be playing another multiplayer battle for Total War Warhammer. I'm the Strategy Professor, and this is just as the new content just came out in the new patch that I bought. The Grim and the Grave patch. And so I sat here and I've been studying the vampire counts and all their changes quite extensively. They have a lot of new units, they have a lot of new lords, abilities, things have shifted around. I haven't played any games yet, so I don't know how much they've changed Gaze of Nagash. I know they said they were going to tone down the damage on it, but I'm still going to keep it and try it out just to see. But I'm liking a lot of new things going on. So there's a lot of very, very interesting permutations you can use, especially with the lords. Like, there's so many possibilities that are awesome. And the two that I think are really good right now are Helman Gorst and the Strigoi Ghoul King. So both of them are pretty awesome. And I'm just going to walk through here for the first 5 or 10 minutes, and you can skip straight to the game start if you want. But I just want in the first 10 minutes or so just to walk through, what I think about these different factions, or these different changes to the faction. So first up, I'm going to talk about the Stigoli King here. He can get a Terrorgeist as a mount, which is awesome for only 400 gold. This will give you terror, of course, as a psychological effect, but it also gives you a huge bonus against large, so it gives you plus 40 against large. So that means you'd have 72 melee attack, and you apply poison against large units. And he has an extremely high health pool, which is very important. Because I've heard, and I haven't confirmed this, but a viewer told me that the new regeneration cap is 60% of the base starting health of the unit. So that means I could only regenerate somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,300 health, something like that. Whereas if you start with a much lower health unit, if you have a lord that's in 3,000 health or something like that, then you would only be able to regenerate much less than that. So it's pretty important. So he has a huge bonus versus large. You get a lot of poison. He has decent attack stats, but you mostly want to put him into large things if you're going to use this build of him. You could also take him on foot and save 400 if you want, but I think I'm going for air domination. That's a major reason that I like to play the vampire counts, because they have the capacity to dominate the air against almost anybody. At least they did last patch. And it's very important to get air domination as the vampire counts, because you don't have any missile infantry. So if you're all on the ground, then they could just charge cycle you and harass you with impunity, because there's nothing you can do about it. And that's one of the most annoying things in the game when I'm trying to play Greenskins, which are my favorite multiplayer faction, is if people cycle charges against me quite a lot with air units, because they don't have a very good answer to that either. Alright, so I run the Ghoul King, flying, try to go for air domination. He comes with Curse of the Undeath, which is nice. You cast spells, everybody gets healed. He has natural regeneration, which is huge. It means he's constantly regenerating, and he's got Arcane Conduit, so he can cast a lot more spells when you pop that on cooldown. Alright, and he has a ton of duelist spells. I think this guy might be the best duelist in the game at this point. As I just explained, when he's fighting against those other mounted lords, he's going to poison them, and he gets a huge bonus against large in the air, so he's probably going to win that game. And he also gets regeneration, so he's regenerating the whole time that he's sitting there fighting him. Also, you can use Spirit Leech, you can use Invocation of Nehek to heal yourself, and you can use Gaze of Nagash to just blow him up. So that's three. At least two of these are heavy direct damage spells on a single target, and then one of them is a healing spell, and his Command of the Unliving, you can actually boost it up for only 18 magic and get another unit of Crypt Horrors, which is awesome. So you can just drop some Crypt Horrors right on those pesky archers that are in the back shooting at you, or whatever you want. That's an 800 gold unit and a very powerful unit that you can just drop in there. You can also get the ghouls 500 gold worth for much less, but I would almost always just double tap it and go for the Crypt Horrors. It's a very powerful unit. So he's awesome. Awesome duelist, great mobility, pretty competitive cost for undead lords. Most of them are pretty expensive. Great option. The other option, and I will try this guy at some point, I'll go ahead and throw him out here, is Helman Gorst. So he's basically an upgraded Hydric Kimmler, I believe. So you can get the Brothers Gorst corpse card on him, which is super powerful. I'll show you what it does. So this basically just gives him a lot of HP to start with. So it's a bonus, you know, 2,000 HP for 375 or so. So that's pretty powerful in and of itself. And then you can buy these extra abilities if you get the card. So he's got the Necromancer, Master of the Dead. He's got Curse the Undeath. He has something that just constantly replenishes the health of everybody around you. So that's obviously super powerful. So that combines with Master of the Undead for even more healing. Reliquary of Corruption. Lots of AoE damage around you. I'm not sure exactly how much that is. I assume it's probably similar to like anti-regeneration. That makes sense. So maybe 3 health per second or something off of enemies. I'm not really sure how that works. But that would be really good to get. He's got regeneration. Gives out this buff, +8 melee attack and +8 defense. And you can get this if you want. I don't like Undeath's Resurgent that much. I think it's too much, but you could run it. He just has the normal vampire spells. So his magic's a bit weaker than the Ghoul King. You still have Invocation of Heck, and you can use something like Dance Macabre if you want. You can try to use Gaze of Nagash, but you're not flying, so it's going to be a bit harder to hit the target that you want. And then he also has a generation spell here, where you can summon either Graveguard or a White King. I think both of these options are weaker than the Crypt Horrors, but it's still pretty good. So basically you would get this guy if you just want to just walk it up the middle and just ground and pound and, you know, just have a ton of buffs around you. He's a very good bargain for his price. So, you know, if you get rid of all this stuff and you just run with these two, he's very competitive. He's about 500 gold less than the other guy, and he has a lot of really, really nice buffs. So you would just kind of chill with him in the back. He can't really fight, is the unfortunate part about it. But nevertheless, I think he's pretty strong, and I think there are some compositions, depending on the way that the meta goes online, where he could be quite competitive. Because you save a bunch of money, because those buffs that he gets, you can get with other things, but you have to use either the Corpse Cart or the Mortis Engine, which I'll talk about here in a second, in order to get the same level of buffs. But we're going to stick with the King. This is going to be my anti-Empire build with him. I like to run one Necromancer. He's just kind of like a distraction, if nothing else. He's very cheap. He's only 354 gold. You can get Master of the Dead, so just give you a bunch of regeneration around you. That's about 300 gold. And I'm going to try out this item. We'll see if I can remember to use it correctly, but plus 22% damage reduction. So because this Ghoul King is so good at dueling anyways, I'm really going to try to seek out and duel people if I can. And then if I can just pop that scroll, that'll help him absorb a lot of damage as well. So I think it's pretty strong. And let me know what you think. I'm going to try out Spirit Leech again. I think it's okay in this meta now. It wasn't okay a few patches ago. But because they've nerfed its damage quite a lot, and because they people can have potions now, then I think it's okay. I don't think it's broken anymore. I don't think it's overpowered. I think it's been fixed, where it's just a good single target spell. It costs, you know, 8 magic now, so it still costs quite a lot. Because think about, you know, I could cast a Nahek for that, or even almost an overcasted Nahek. Pretty close, which heals everybody on my team for a ton of health. Or I could just cast a single target, let's do a little bit of damage to a Lord or a hero. So I think it's pretty balanced compared to the other options there. So let me know if you think it's too cheesy. We'll try it out in battle. If you think it's too cheesy, then I'll back up and do something else. But I don't think it's as sleazy as it was in patch 1, when it was basically you could point, click, and they're dead in like one hit. Because it dealt so much damage, and there were no potions, and there was no counterplay to it. So now I think there is counterplay because there's potions, it does less damage, and other people are also welcome to get this scroll that they can use that reduces damage by 22%. Which, you know, will reduce quite a bit of the damage. So, Necromancer just sitting there, soaking up shots, and then we just have our zombie line just to kind of hold the line a little bit. We have Graveguard for more serious type of engagements. We want to put these up against, like, their greatswords or something. Have a couple of Vargeist. I'm going to try them out just for air control, just to make sure that I control the skies. They can also double as cavalry, basically, so you can just fly in and attack behind units, get some nice charge bonuses, so pretty strong. Have some Blood Knights just for ground domination. You know, that's going to be able to beat up anything that the Empire's running on the ground, probably. Demigryphs have fallen out of favor, but I think they can probably even take out Demigryphs head-to-head. Very strong with the regeneration magic that I have now, since this... I'll talk about this in a second. This can regenerate. I can use the Nahek on him to regenerate, so... Very powerful. Cairn Wraiths super good against humans. They have a really hard time with terror, and this causes terror, these cause terror, and this causes terror. So they're going to have a really hard time psychologically with this army. And then finally I have the new, one of the new units, the Mortis Engine, which I'm going to try out. It is very expensive. It's 1,400 gold, but it has a lot of really nice things. First of all, it has regeneration itself, and it has 7,600 health, so quite sturdy, difficult to take down, difficult to focus fire with things like spells. Like if they want to use Shim's Burning Gaze to try to knock it out or something, it's not going to be that easy. And they have improved power recharge rate, so that'll help fuel the really strong magic that the Ghoul King has. And then they have the Reliquary of Corruption, so remember that was what you can get with this guy. Element if you want, so I'm not sure how much damage that does yet, but I assume it's probably something like 3 damage per second to everything that's around him. And then it has the healing. So this is almost just like Hellman on a stick here. It's very close. It's regeneration, it has really good buffs, debuffs. It's just quite strong. And then it causes terror, which is very important as well. Terror is, over the last week or so, I've really come to respect that as a debuff. Like, it can win entire fights for you. Because if their line just gets scared and runs away at half health or something like that, you know, you win the fight right there. So terror is extremely strong, and the humans don't have a lot of anti-terror units. They don't have things that are immune to psychology. Alright, so terror, very important. And it can fight, like, it's okay. It's not the best fighter in the world, but it does get plus 15 versus infantry, so it'll have 45 attack. So you can put it on the front line, attack with it, and it does some pretty decent damage. It's okay. I mean, there's only one of it. You have to keep that in mind, so it doesn't hit nearly as hard as a Lord or something like that. But I think overall, it's pretty good. With all these buffs that it gives, it's pretty good. Other units that could be useful, the Corpse Cart. The jury's kind of out. This obviously has very strong buffs, so it has a mass regeneration of its own. And it has Vigor Mortis, which I think is a pretty funny play on words, for that +8 bonus. So that's quite strong. And there's different versions of it. So one, you just get the Vigor Mortis. This other one, you get something that debuffs the magic of the enemies. So if they have a Lord that's also very strong at magic, and you think it's going to be a really long fight, that could be good. And then this is the one that you have to get for the mass regeneration. And it's worth noting that the icon, or the name, Unholy Lodestone, is different from this one, I think. Yes, they're different, so that I think they can stack, so you can get a ton of regeneration. That's probably why they nerfed it, because you don't want to go like overboard on their regeneration where you would never kill anything. Okay, so those are good. And then you have Units of Renown, which they've added in all over the place. I generally don't think they're worth it. I've looked at sort of the cost analysis basis. They also added in a cool function here where you can click on something and hover over something else and see exactly which stats change. You're going to have to eyeball it yourself and see if there are any, you know, status things that change down here. But as far as the raw stats, that's actually really sweet. Then you can kind of see, well, this unit compared to this one, how does it work? Or this one compared to this one. A lot of times it costs maybe 1/3 to a half more, 50% more money for the Units of Renown. Like this one is 750 to 1,000. And if you look, the stats are nice, but I don't know, jury's out. I might try them out later. The best one that could be good is the Stearnsman Graveguard, just because they get regeneration and they get a lot of good stats. So they get an extra 8 attack, 11 defense, and 10 leadership. So the 8 attack does make them, you know, about 30% more damage, and that extra melee defense is about, you know, 30% more melee defense. So maybe they are stronger than I think they are. I'm not really sure. I'll have to think it over. Like, I could get rid of 2 zombies and trade 1 Graveguard out for them, but I'm just gonna try this for now and just see what I think about it, and then I'm gonna do a ton of games today and try out the rest of the stuff. But in general, Units of Renown, not super impressive. I mean, the zombies are cool. You've got zombies, you have extra skeleton warriors, you have the ghouls, they're okay. These might actually be viable. I'll just have to see, just because that regeneration is so strong on a unit like that. Then you have the Black Knights with Lances. You know, these have regeneration also, so that could actually be quite powerful. They get regeneration, extra melee attack, and defense. So, pretty good. These are, I think the Chill Geists are still way too expensive. And they do have more attack and defense. This is actually a really good bargain. I think this one is a really good bargain if you want to run Hex Race, because it's only 150 more. You just get a ton more stats. And they actually get magic resist too, which is pretty cool. If you're facing something that's like a dwarf with a bunch of runesmiths or something like that, that could be quite good. And they get this debuff that's negative 36% speed on everything else. So that lets you chase things down, other cavalry that might try to run away from you. But I think in general, they're just not quite strong enough to warrant their use. Maybe they are. I don't know. Jury's out. I feel like I want terror, but I wanted to get the Karen Wraiths to cause the terror. Okay, so let's go try some of this out. So those are my thoughts. Units of Renowned. I might sprinkle in and try a couple here and there. I'm not super impressed yet. Not super impressed just yet with Units of Renown, but we'll see. I'm definitely going to get them in the campaigns. Be sure to check out the campaigns as well. I'm hoping they add these units into the campaigns. I haven't checked yet to see if that's possible. I really hope they'll let me get the Legendary Lords, but the way they said start your new campaign and get the Legendary Lord makes me think it may not be a new campaign, which is disappointing because, obviously I'm playing long, very involved campaigns, and I would like to get the DLC, like, in the campaign that I currently have going. I don't want to have to start a new one, because people are following it. I wouldn't mind personally starting a new one because the game's so fun, but I know that people are following and that it's got a narrative to it. We've lived through some things in the campaigns, we're making progress. And so I just want to finish out the campaigns. So I know that when they added the Blood Knights, you could get the Blood Knights in the campaign. When they added the Beastmen with that DLC, and the Beastmen did not appear in the campaign. So I'm not sure how this is going to work, if you're going to be able to hire the Lords or not in the campaign. But we'll see, we'll see. We should at least be able to get the units, I'm hoping, in the campaign. I really want to try out that Ghoul King in the campaign. That'd be sweet. Alright, so let's see who they want to pick here. Now, I just have a setup for basically Greenskins and Empire. I don't have other setups yet. Why are these? Oh, yeah. I forgot they did that thing too, where you can only have 3 lords, or 3 heroes max now. This is my anti-Greenskins build. See how it goes. It just has a few more, a little bit more power on the line, and it just trades that air game with the Vargeist for a better ground game with the Knights. And the reason for that is I need more anti-large versus something like Greenskins in case they run an Arachnarok Spider or a Giant or something like that. These Blood Knights are really your best anti-large unit. You don't have to worry about air superiority because the Greenskin has no air game. Basically, this guy can one-on-one whichever lord they're going to put up there. Oh, interesting. Okay, Beastmen. Do I like this against Beastmen? I think so. This should do well against Minotaurs. This guy should be able to light him up. He'll do pretty well. I'm a little bit worried that I may not have enough ground game with the infantry, but I think I will. Remember, I'm going to summon one more Crypt Horror very soon. They don't really have an air game at all. They can get a Manticore or something. That shouldn't be a problem. They might have those armored Bestigors, so the great weapons are good. They shouldn't have a lot of missile units. I think this will be pretty solid. The Blood Knights will help me take down Cygors, hopefully. Black Knights, they're actually really good for their cost. 700 for an awesome cav unit like that is very good. There's a chance I should run more Black Knights. I mean, they're just such an awesome bargain for their price. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. First patch. Gonna be fun. My composition's probably terrible, but nobody knows what's gonna be good yet. I don't know how much the missile units do with Gaze of Nagash. I don't know how much Spirit Leech does in this patch. I do know that Gorbals just got smacked in the face, I'm pretty sure, because they can only run 3 of those now, and they can only effectively run 1 potion. I think 2 potions is overkill. It may not be. We'll see. But vampires, I run no potions. Oh. And I only run one hero. So if you're the kind of person that doesn't like hero spam, you don't like potions, you're going to love the way that I play the vampire counts now, because I just don't run any of that. I want these on each side, ideally, so that I cause terror on each side. Now, I need to be quick on that. Like, if I get attacked with my ward, I need to go 9 quickly, and I need to figure out, like, a hotkey for these over here. I don't think there is one. I think I have to click. I know there are hotkeys for spells, and I need to use those a little bit better. 3. We'll go ahead and make these... 2 is fine, I guess. I'll make this one, too. Keep track of that. Oh, that looks sweet. That's pretty sweet. Oh, it's got, like, a steed or something with it? That's sweet. I like that. A lot of fun. Tell you what, let's put these with my main group here. Let's do it that way, and then we'll go 3, make these 4, and that way we can control them on different sides. So 3, 4. I wish you could send, like, units, like, to follow other units. That would be cool. What does he have here? Got a giant, no Cygors. That's good. He's got just a normal Beast Lord. He's got some spears. I have here Minotaurs. It looks like 2 Gorbals. He's got to have something hiding. I could see how much damage like this Gaze and Nagash has. Gorbal. Oh, not that. Oh, did I not get Gaze with this build? Oh, okay. I thought I did. Oh, I'm gonna need to adjust that because I do want to try out Gaze and Nagash. Okay, we don't have it this battle. That's cool. I want this thing into his giant. What do we have? Okay, so we can cast this. We can overcast that and put some Cryptors behind him. Now, what's going to be weak of mine? I think just these on each side will be fine. I mean, I have enough terror to go around. Everything that I have, so much of it's going to cause terror. Now, we want to keep the Gorbals out of our large units, if possible. We want the spears out of there. Dang it. I almost always forget, like, one of these things. Well, let's just chill here. Let's chill. Wait on my guy to get back over here. Okay, yeah, he did have some hidden units over there. We're gonna flank all the way around here. We're gonna go ahead and heal those up. Alright, let's go ahead and knock this guy out. Alright, let's go ahead and back out over there. Nope. Back those up. Right, back him up. Let's go ahead and charge these in the back here. And then charge those in the back. Guys, go. Make sure he's not fighting. Like, I need him out here so that he can heal things. Oh, I haven't even charged. He's in here. Let's wrap this around. We should have him. Yeah, he should be done. Let's just go ahead and send that on it. Send him on his way here, so he can't run around and, you know, heal back up. It's probably unnecessary, but see if we can get down here again. Oh, that giant's causing a lot of problems. I think we can kill these things. I don't know. It's getting kind of dicey. Being honest here, it's getting a little dicey. Let's go kill this giant. I might actually lose this. It's just so many Gorbles and giants. Yeah, I probably shouldn't kill this giant, or like focus fire this giant, but I'm going to. We need to keep everybody over here near our engine, or that's what we needed to do. Now my guy's pretty dang strong though. So he doesn't have a ward anymore though. Yeah, okay, so you see everyone just got terrored right there, except for the giant. That's the power of terror. I'll go ahead and kill one of these Gorples here. Let's go ahead and keep him on the giant. We can kill the Gorple with the other stuff. Well, the Gorple actually, I don't know if the Gorple counts as large or not. I don't think he does. Yeah, this giant is doing some freaking work. Kill him. Go ahead and cycle a charge. Got charge bonus going again. I needed to have my Blood Knights on this giant much sooner. Oh, he just killed himself overcasting something. Yeah, I hear those things come. Okay, so I probably lost this. Let's see, if I could get one more heal off, maybe not. I spread my units out too far. Yeah, I just spread my units out too far. I need everyone piled in closer on the Necromancer. And that engine that gives, you know, the mass regeneration. Because half of my units were over here just dying, like, because they weren't huddled up close to the regeneration, so. That's okay. We're living and learning. That was the first battle. My composition's okay. Now these things had the great weapons as well. the Gorbals and the... So I like the Ghoul King. I thought he was pretty powerful there. The Cavalry was a bit disappointing. The Wraiths did fine. These Graveguard were on the disappointing side. You know, for their price, they're just too much. Like, I need to just get normal Graveguard. I mean, as you can see, they killed even more, and they cost a lot less. This thing was okay. Jury's out. I'm going to try it one more time. It is on the expensive side. I just didn't have enough bodies in there, and this Giant also was just doing some serious work. I needed to have these on the Giant. So I had them, like, over here killing spears or something. They needed to be on the Giant. They get a huge bonus versus large. So I needed the Ghoul King and this on the Giant. Because the Ghoul King also poisons the Giant, and that would help a ton. Yeah, that Giant was the real problem. Yeah, overall pretty good. If you enjoyed this, be sure to check out the rest of my videos. Like I said, I'm going to make a ton of these today. I'm going to release them. I'm going to try out a bunch of different builds and hopefully bring you something exciting and new. I think that game was definitely winnable. I think that I just had to keep my units huddled up closer together and not get them split up like I had them. You want to keep them all within 45 meters of each other, the vast majority of them, so that you can get that healing in. So you can just have just a death ball of healing. But thank you very much, and we'll go ahead and make some more. And do check out the other videos if you enjoyed this. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you next time.